What's going on, folks? Angel Vizcarra joined here by USC men's volleyball senior Ryan Moss. Ryan, you guys got a big matchup coming up next week to start off the NCAA tournament, but thanks for showing up today.
Yeah, of course.
Before we talk about that matchup with Lewis next week, let's talk a little bit about the MPSF tournament. You guys come away with a couple of good wins. Overall, what are your takeaways from that time?
Well, I really like the way we approached every game. From the first game at home against Grand Canyon, it became less about the result, more just about how we played. I tried to echo to the guys before that game, because you can lose any given night.
Yeah.
You can play your best, things can go wrong, and the season can be over. So if you focus on that, then you can lose focus of what you should be really working on. So I told the guys, I was like, let's not focus anymore on how long we play or worry about the result. Let's just focus on how we play. And if we play the right way, then when the season ends, whether it's tonight against Grand Canyon or against UCLA the next night or in the Final Four, then we'll be happy with the result. So we were able to really just focus in on what we were doing at the time. And we're still here. We're still doing it. So
there we go.
So something worked.
Fantastic. Well, the journey continues for you guys, but let's talk a little bit about that matchup you had with Pepperdine.
Right.
Obviously a tough way to get swept there, but overall in that match, what are some things you think could have gone a little differently that might have changed the way things turned out for you all?
Well, I think the match was a little deceiving afterwards because we got swept, and initially our emotions are a huge letdown in a championship game like that. But after reviewing the film and watching how the game went, we had our opportunities. We were up a couple times in the first set, the third set, and I think if we just make a couple more winning plays there, then we can take a set and things get a lot more interesting. They're an incredibly good team at home. I think they're one of the other teams that have been undefeated at home this year. So no, we can't hang our hat on that one too much, but it's important not to be too discouraged by that loss and kind of look at things we did do well and how we can implement that moving forward.
Yeah, and as you look back as what's gotten you guys here so far this season, what would you say has maybe been the storyline for this team getting up to NCAAs?
Protecting the house, like for sure, just winning at home.
Yeah.
We talked a bit in the fall about, really winning at home and protecting Galen Center. And I think after that win against number 3 UCI in January, we were unranked at the time. We came into the year unranked, so that was a win that really set the tone for us. We experienced a lot of adversity on the road early on, but all those big wins at home eventually turned into, something great that made our season what it is. So I think that was really a defining characteristic for us.
We were chatting a bit before about you being a senior, how time flies here for you on this program. But
yeah.
Compared to last season, it's been pretty dramatic turnaround this year compared to the last. And overall, in the scope of your 4 years, how would you say this program has kind of evolved with you here?
It's changed a lot. I was talking to the guys kind of how it's been weird that my freshman year, we didn't make the playoffs in the MPSF. My sophomore year, we made the first round. My junior year, we made it to the semis, and last week we lost in the championship. So, it's a very clear progression, but I think more than that this year, it's just been a lot of different things coming together and working nicely. All the cogs of the machine, from the staff to our trainer, Lisa, to our new strength coach, Curtis, this year, to everybody on the staff, our video guy, Justin, who gets us ready for every single match, puts in a ton of time. That coupled with the experience we have, a lot of guys on the team returning this year who played last year. It's just, it's all came together nicely and progressed throughout my time here.
All right, and your senior year to be in a co-captain role, what has that meant to you?
That's meant a ton. It's been really important to me to build relationships with everybody on the team. My sophomore year, I'd take the freshmen under my wing, the guys under me, and they get to come up with me, and I've kind of tried to implement that every year. And now as a co-captain on the team this year, I felt pretty grateful to be able to lead these guys and be in a position where I feel like I have meaningful relationships with everybody on our team. And to go out with a season like this, my senior year, that's been pretty successful, has been more than I could ask for.
And you've been there at the highs with him, the lows with him. What does Coach Jeff Nygaard mean to you?
Well, through the highs and lows, Jeff is very much the same, which I think is one of his biggest strengths. Just on the sideline, his presence is it's very steady. He tells us what we need to know in a calm manner. He rarely just screams at us or loses his head on the sidelines. And we've lost a lot of games. We've now won a lot too. And the way he's delivered information has always been consistent. So it's given the players something we can rely on.
All right, going into NCAAs, especially Lewis, just what are the conversations happening in that locker room, and what needs to go right for you folks to get to that final goal you want?
Yeah, I mean, we haven't scouted Lewis yet. Obviously, they're a great team. They're 25-5. They're number 6 in the country. They just won their conference. So, you know, we know the stats about them. But we also know that it's just going to come down to us. We've talked about that a lot this year, just focusing on what we can control on our side, keeping it with us. When we feel like when we're at our best, it's, you know, it's scary. So we think when we're playing our best, we can win a lot of games. Obviously, if the other team brings their best too, then it's going to be a great match. But, you know, we're going to do everything we can prepare for them. But at the end of the day, it's really on us to get the job done.
There you go. Well, pardon me, I always like to end sentimental. We're talking, you're a senior, I'm a senior, getting kind of emotional, but just curious, when people look back on Ryan Moss and what he brought to this volleyball program, what do you want them to remember?
That's a big question.
That's a big one.
I think I told my guys early in the fall, we had a meeting with our sports psychologist, Dylan, about something like this. And I kind of just want everybody on the team to remember that I tried to give it my all in the classroom, on the court, and at the court. You know, just all aspects of life, the social life with the team, academically and athletically. I just tried to give my all to these guys in every way that I could. And especially my senior year, I just shut out a lot of other things and just tried to give everything I have. So I hope that the young guys moving forward, you know, they aren't afraid to give it everything they have, because the more you care, the more it hurts. You know, you put yourself out there. So I hope that they can kind of embody that as they move forward, see how seriously they can take it, and see how much of themselves they can give to the program.
Ryan, man, appreciate the time.
Yeah.
Thank you. Best of luck going forward next week.
Thank you.
Catch Ryan and the USC men's volleyball team in Long